October 21st, 1805. The morning sun cuts through Atlantic fog as 60 warships prepare for the bloodiest naval battle in history. Admiral Nelson's 27 British ships face off against a massive Franco-Spanish fleet of 33 vessels bristling with over 2,600 cannons. Wooden giants armed with iron death machines that can barely hit targets 400 yards away. It's the age of sail at its most brutal. But let's change one thing. Slicing through the clouds at 50,000 feet, invisible to every eye below, flies something that won't exist for another 200 years. A B-2 Spirit stealth bomber, 172 feet of flying wing technology that looks like it was designed by aliens who really hate radar. So what happens when 21st century air power meets the Royal Navy's finest hour? Can one aircraft rewrite the most famous naval battle in history? Or will 200 years of technological advancement mean absolutely nothing against the chaos of Trafalgar? This isn't your typical warbird. The B-2 Spirit makes modern fighter jets look like paper airplanes. We're talking about a $2.2 billion flying computer that can deliver 40,000 pounds of precision death from altitudes where 1805 sailors would need telescopes just to see it as a speck. Its radar cross-section is smaller than a large bird, meaning even if Admiral Villeneuve had modern radar, he'd mistake this beast for a seagull with delusions of grandeur. The stealth bomber cruises at 628 miles per hour, which is roughly 200 times faster than the fastest ship at Trafalgar could manage with a hurricane pushing it. And while Nelson's cannons struggled to hit anything beyond 300 yards, the B-2 can drop GPS-guided bombs that land within 3 feet of their target from altitudes where the air's too thin for humans to breathe. But here's what makes this a matchup absolutely fascinating. In 1805, naval warfare is pure chaos. Ships closing to within 50 yards of each other, crews reloading massive cannons by hand, and battles decided by seamanship, courage, and who can pour more iron into enemy hulls faster. The most advanced weapon system is a flintlock mechanism attached to a cannon, which the French haven't even fully adopted yet. Meanwhile, floating above this wooden apocalypse is a machine that required inventing entirely new materials, computer systems, and manufacturing processes just to exist. Admiral Nelson commands HMS Victory, a 227-foot first-rate ship of the line carrying 104 guns and 850 men. It's the pinnacle of 1805 naval technology, a floating fortress that took 6 years to build and represents the accumulated wisdom of centuries of naval warfare. Against this stands Admiral Villeneuve's flagship, the Bucentaure, leading a combined fleet that includes the massive Spanish Santísima Trinidad, the largest warship afloat with 140 guns spread across 4 decks. These ships don't just fight, they brawl. Crews train for years to reload and fire their cannons 3 times per minute in the heat of battle, while enemy shot tears through their wooden walls. The tactical genius of Trafalgar lies in Nelson's revolutionary approach. Instead of forming the traditional line of battle, he splits his fleet into 2 columns and charges straight at the enemy line at right angles. It's naval suicide according to every tactical manual ever written. But Nelson knows something his enemies don't. His crews can fire faster, his ships can maneuver better, and his captains think independently. The plan is to break the Franco-Spanish line into chaos, then demolish each section with superior firepower and seamanship. At 11:50 a.m., Nelson signals his immortal message. England expects that every man will do his duty. Drums beat to quarters as 17,000 British sailors prepare for hell. Across the water, French and Spanish crews ready their cannons, knowing they outnumber the British fleet, but dreading Nelson's reputation. The combined fleet forms a ragged line stretching 5 miles across the Atlantic, their hulls black with gun smoke from warming shots. What none of these sailors realize is that death is already circling overhead, invisible and patient. The B-2's sensors can track every ship simultaneously while calculating optimal strike patterns. Its bomb bay holds enough firepower to sink the entire combined fleet before they even know they're under attack. But warfare isn't just about technology. It's about timing, tactics, and the human element that no computer can fully predict. The B-2 pilot watches history unfold through thermal imaging as Victory leads the weather column directly toward Bucentaure's center. 27 British ships charging into a wall of 2,600 cannons while maintaining perfect radio silence because radios won't be invented for another century. From 50,000 feet, the entire battle looks like a slow-motion collision between floating castles, each one bristling with enough firepower to level a small town. At 12:04 p.m., the first shots thunder across the Atlantic. Foucault opens fire on Victory at 400 yards, her 74 guns erupting in sequence like deadly fireworks. The sound is deafening, a rolling crash of iron and gunpowder that would shatter windows miles away if there were any windows to shatter. Victory's mizzen topmast crashes to the deck as French shot tears through rigging and wood. Nelson paces his quarterdeck, refusing to take cover as musket balls whistle past his head. His uniform glitters with medals, making him a perfect target for enemy marksmen. The B-2's pilot could end this in seconds. 80 GPS-guided bombs could delete every enemy ship before they fire a second broadside. But something holds him back. Maybe it's watching Nelson refuse to duck as death screams around him. Maybe it's seeing British sailors maintain perfect discipline while their friends die beside them. Maybe it's understanding that some moments in history are too sacred to interrupt, even with overwhelming force. Victory crashes through the Franco-Spanish line at 12:15 p.m., her massive 68-pounder carronade loaded with a round shot and 500 musket balls. The gun erupts at point-blank range into Bucentaure's stern, turning the enemy flagship's gun deck into a slaughterhouse. 96 pounds of metal tear through the ship from stern to bow, killing and maiming everything in their path. The sound is beyond description, wood splintering and men screaming as Victory's full broadside follows seconds later. Temeraire breaks the line behind Victory, her guns double-shotted for maximum carnage. The 98-gun ship demolishes Redoutable and Foucault simultaneously, her crews reloading and firing with mechanical precision, while French and Spanish return fire turns her deck into hell. Splinters fly like deadly rain, each piece capable of taking off limbs or heads. The smell of gunpowder mixes with blood and burning wood as ships grapple at distances measured in feet. From his godlike perspective, the B-2 pilot watches the melee unfold with perfect clarity. His thermal sensors show the heat signatures of men dying, the bright flashes of cannon fire, the spreading fires that threaten to consume entire ships. He could target individual cannons with precision strikes, eliminate specific threats, turn the tide without touching a single British vessel. The technology exists, to save every British life while ensuring total victory. But watching Nelson die with a sniper's bullet through his spine at 4:30 p.m., the B-2 pilot realizes something profound. Some victories can't be improved by technology. Some moments in history need their heroes to bleed. The stealth bomber turns away from Trafalgar, leaving Nelson's legend intact and proving that the greatest weapon isn't always the most advanced one. Sometimes it's just courage. What do you think would happen if modern special forces landed at Gettysburg? Check out this video to find out.